Hello everyone, welcome back or welcome to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to show you how to crochet this mesh tote. This is a smaller version of what you could make. You can make this in any size. I just decided to do this piece as a little practice piece. But again, you can make it in any size you want. It's going to be the same exact pattern. You can also make your handles to be longer or thicker if you prefer. This is just what I've done for this one. And you don't have to do the color changes if you don't want to. You can just do one consecutive color. But anyway, this is what we're going to be working on today. I'm going to go ahead and get into the materials right now. So to crochet this mesh bag, you're going to need yarn of your choice. I'm just using this category for yarn. And a hook of your choice. I'm using a 4mm crochet hook. You're also going to need a darning needle and some scissors. Technically you don't need the darning needle. You can always sew in your ends with your hook, but a darning needle just makes things easier if you have one. But again, if you don't, you can just stick with your hook. Anyway, that's all you're going to be needing. Let's go ahead and begin. We're going to go ahead and begin with a slip knot. And we're going to grab our hook and begin with a chain. So the chain length is going to be the width of your bag. So we're going to begin at the base and then we're going to work our way up. The last thing that we're going to do are our handles. So right now we're working on the base, which is going to begin with this chain length. So again, you can make this bag as big or as small as you want. It doesn't matter if your chain is even or odd. You just need to make your chain length. So everyone's going to have a different amount. I am going to go ahead and make my chain length, and I will go ahead and meet you once I'm done. Okay, I'm back with my chain length. The bag that I'm going to be making for this tutorial is going to be fairly small. Again, you can make this as big or as small as you want. For this tutorial, I'm going to make a mini version of the bag. So I have just made my chain length, and once you have your chain length, you want to chain 5 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then you want to do a double crochet into the 6th chain from your hook. So you're going to skip 5 chains and work into the 6th one. So we're going to skip 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to do a double crochet into the 6th chain. Okay, and now we're going to chain 1. We're going to skip the next chain that we have and then do a double crochet in the chain after. So we just chained 1. We're going to skip the very next chain that we have and we're going to do a double crochet in the one right after. And then we're going to chain 1 again. We're going to skip the very next chain space and we're going to do a double crochet in the chain right after. And we're just going to do that over and over again until we get to the very end. So chain 1, skip the next chain space for from the base of your bag. So skip the very next chain like we've been doing and then do a double crochet in the one right after. Okay, chain 1 and do a double crochet after skipping the next chain. So chain 1, skip the next chain over here, do a double crochet in the one right after. Do this until you get to the very end, and I will go ahead and meet you once I'm done, and then I'll show you how to do the turn at the end. Okay, I'm here at the end, and I do want to make a comment. So some of us are going to have 2 chains left over, and in that case, we're just going to do the exact same thing that we were doing, which is chain 1 and then do a double crochet in the very last chain, because you'd be skipping 1, but then you still have 1 left over. But some of us are only going to have 1 chain left over. So some of us might have done our double crochet, but then we only have 1 chain left over. In that case, that's completely fine. We're going to do the exact same thing. So for those of us who have 2 chains left over, we're just going to go ahead and chain 1 again, and then do a double crochet in that very last chain space. And for those of us who have one chain left, we're just going to do the same thing. We're going to chain one and then do a double crochet in that chain space. So this is what it looks like so far. Some of us are going to have 2 double crochets seemingly very close to each other, but it's okay because this is the base of the bag. So again, for those of us who had 2 chains left over, we just did a chain 1 and then a double crochet that we've been doing for the rest of the row. And for those of us who only had 1 chain, we're doing the exact same thing. We're going to chain 1 and then do a double crochet in that row, just without skipping any chains. Okay, so once all of us have our double crochet done in the very last chain space, we're going to chain 1 and do another double crochet into that same chain space. So all of us are going to do a double crochet, another one, into that same chain space. And we're going to do that one more time. We're going to chain 1 into that same exact chain. We're going to do a double crochet. So all of us should have 3 double crochets in this very last chain. And now as we made our double crochets, our work has slowly gone from being here to turning this way. Okay? And now what we're going to do is we're doing the exact same thing on the opposite side. And I want to preface by saying that all of our double crochets should line up with the double crochets on the opposite side. So I just did my double crochet in this last space, and we're just going to chain 1 again. And then I'm going to go ahead and skip this chain space right over here, and we're going to do a double crochet right above the double crochet from the previous row. So I'm going to go ahead and do a double crochet like so. Chain 1, and then do your double crochet on top of the other double crochet. We're doing the exact same thing where we chain 1 and then we skip the chain space and then do a double crochet in the stitch right after. Okay, I just want to preface again by saying that our chain 1 should align with the chain 1 below that we skipped, and our double crochet should align with a double crochet at the bottom. So chain 1, put your double crochet on top of the previous double crochet, chain 1, and we're going to repeat that until we get to the very end, and I'll go ahead and show you how to do the last couple together. Okay, I'm on my last couple for this round. So I did a double crochet, I'm going to chain 1, and then put my double crochet right above the other one. And now we're here in the beginning where we did our chain of 5. So what we're going to do now is we're going to skip the first chain that comes right after our double crochet, and we're going to work into the second chain. Okay, so again, we have 5 chains that we did in the very beginning. We're going to skip the very first chain that we have right over here, and we're going to work into the second one. So we're skipping this one, we're working into this one. I've done my double crochet. I'm going to chain 1, and then I'm going to place my next double crochet into that second chain. Again, skip this one, work into the second one. I'm going to insert my hook into that chain space and do a double crochet as we've done. Then I'm going to chain 1, and then into that same space, the same chain space, I'm going to do another double crochet. And the chain 3 that we have left over counts as a double crochet itself. So we're going to just chain 1, and we're going to slip stitch into the second chain from this chain 3. We're going to slip stitch into the second one. Okay, and there we have row number 1 finished. Round number 1 is probably going to be the hardest of the rounds. The rest is going to be a repeat of this, except it's going to be a lot easier because now you have defined places where we're going to place our stitches. So we've just slip stitched, and now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start off round number 2. I've zoomed in just a little more. For round number 2, we're going to go ahead and start off with a chain of 4. where the chain 3 counts as a double crochet and the chain 1 counts as our chain 1 that we do in between every double crochet. So we have a chain of 4, and now we're going to go ahead and skip the next chain space, and we're going to just work on top of the first double crochet that you see right after. So we're just going to do a double crochet on top of the double crochet from the previous round. Then we're going to chain 1, and then do a double crochet on top of the next one. Chain 1, place your double crochet on top of the next one, and we're always skipping the chain spaces that we have. So these empty spaces we're always skipping. Chain 1, double crochet on top of the next double crochet, and then I'm going to go ahead and meet you once I get to this side of the curve. We're not going to do anything special for the curve for the rest of the rounds, but I'm going to show you how I work them anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and pause right here, and I'll go ahead and meet you once I get to this portion of round number 2. I am at the curve area. So we started right over here, and I've just made it to the first curve right here. So we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to chain 1, do our double crochet on top of the previous one, chain 1, and now we made it to the 3 double crochets that we did in one space. But again, we're not doing anything different or anything special. This is going to be the exact same thing. We just chained 1. We're going to do just another double crochet on top of the next double crochet that we have. Chain 1. Now we're on the second double crochet of this same space. We just chained 1. We're just going to do a double crochet on top of that one as well. Chain 1, and then do a double crochet on top of the next double crochet. Okay, and now you're just going to do the exact same thing until we get to the end of this round. So go ahead and repeat your chain and then your double crochet pattern until we get to the very end, and I will go ahead and meet you once I get to the very end of this row. As you can see, there is a curve happening because this is the forming of your bag. So I'm going to go ahead and pause right here, and I will meet you once I'm done. We're on the curve right before we finish row number 2. We're just going to chain 1 and then a double crochet. Chain 1, double crochet, and now we are going to go ahead and finish this row, because remember we did this chain 4 in the beginning. So we've done a double crochet, chain 1, a double crochet. We're going to finish off with a chain 1, and then we're going to slip stitch into the third chain from the hook, or from the third chain from the 4 that we made in the beginning. In the beginning of round number 2, we did a beginning of 4 chains. We just chained 1, and now we're going to slip stitch into the third chain. And now we're going to go ahead and start round number 3, which is the exact same as round number 2, which is we're going to begin with a chain of 4. And then we're going to do a double crochet into the very first double crochet that we have right below. And we're just going to do a chain 1, skip the chain space, and then do a double crochet on top of the double crochet. Chain 1, double crochet on top of the previous double crochet, and we're just going to repeat that all the way around. You're going to do a chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, till we get to the very end. I will go ahead and meet you once I'm done with my round number 3. Okay, I am almost done with round number 3, just doing my last chain and double crochet repeat. Then I'm going to finish off with my last one, my chain, my double crochet, and then to end off we're going to chain and then slip stitch into the third chain from the beginning. So again, we started with a chain 4, we're slip stitching into the third. We're starting off row number 4 with a chain of 4, do a double crochet in the very first double crochet of the round, and then chain 1 and double crochet. And this is what we're going to repeat for the rest of the rounds. We're just going to do a chain 1 and double crochet all around, and that is going to be our repeat. So this is going to be the repeat for the rest of the height for the bag, where at the end of every round we're going to begin with a chain of 4, and then we're going to do a double crochet on top of the very first double crochet of the row, and then chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, making sure each of our double crochets align with the double crochets from the previous rows. And we're just going to do a chain 1, double crochet again and again all the way around until you get to the very end. At the very end, you do your final double crochet and then a chain 1, and then you slip stitch from the third chain from your hook. You always end off with a chain 1 and then slip stitch. So don't make your double crochet and then slip stitch right away. You make your last double crochet, chain 1, and then slip stitch. And then again, start your round off with a chain of 4, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, again and again, all the way around, chain 1, slip stitch into the third chain from your hook, and then repeat that until you get your desired height for the bag. I will make the rest of my height off camera. Feel free to pause the video and repeat this pattern until you get your desired height. Okay, I am here at the end of my desired height, and this is what I have so far. And now we're going to go ahead and work on the top border and the strap or the handle portion, which again can be made in whatever size. You can have longer straps, you can do a crossbody, or you can just do like a regular just hand-sized handles. Okay, so I finished off with a slip stitch, except this time instead of chaining 4 to begin our round, we're just going to chain 1. So again, I finished off with a double crochet, chain 1, slip stitch into the third chain, and now I've chained 1. And now we're going to do single crochets. Our very first single crochet is going to go in our chain space right over here. So usually we put a double crochet immediately into the first double crochet of the row. We're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to focus on the chain space right before that, and we're going to do a single crochet into that space. And now on the first double crochet, we're just going to do a single crochet. This row is basically just going to be single crochets. So we did a single crochet in our chain 1 space. Now we're going to do a single crochet on top of the double crochet. Single crochet in the chain space, single crochet in our actual stitch, single crochet in our chain space, and then a single crochet in our actual stitch. Go ahead and continue this all the way around, and I will go ahead and meet you once I'm done. I'm coming up at the end. I'm going to do a single crochet in our last double crochet space, and then we're also going to do a single crochet in the very last chain space. And then we're going to finish off by slip stitching into the very first single crochet that we've done. Okay, now if you want a thicker border, you can go ahead and do a couple more rounds of your single crochet stitch. Considering mine is a mini bag, I'm just going to stick with one row of single crochet stitches. Let me go ahead and bring this bag back in for reference. So for this bag, I did 2 rows of single crochet stitches before I started working on my handles, but also you can see that my handles also attach to the border as well, so you're going to have to keep that in mind. So it's not just the 2 rows that we did in the beginning, or for this specific piece, we have these 2 border rows, but then I also did 2 rows for my handle portion, which adds to the actual border that we have. So that should be kept in mind. For this one, again, mine is a mini version, so I'm just going to stick with 1 round of single crochet stitches. Feel free to do more if you have a bigger bag or if that's just the look that you're going for. Now I'm going to go ahead and work on the handle portion, but again, if you want to make more rounds, feel free to do so. Feel free to pause the video and do that. But I'm going to go ahead and move on to the actual handle portion. Okay, so once you have the base of your border done, the single crochet rounds, you've slip stitched, and we're going to finish off with a chain 1. And now we're doing the exact same thing where we're going to be doing single crochets. The only difference is we're going to be stopping where our handle is going to start. So you can use stitch markers if you want to be even number of stitches apart. I like to eyeball it because I feel like it looks the same. But if you want to use a stitch marker, then feel free to do so. But what I'm going to do is I want my handle to be from around here to here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my single crochets up until where I want my handle to begin. And from there, we're going to start doing a chain. So I'm going to do my single crochets up until where I want my handle to begin. So up until right around here. And now I'm going to do a chain. So our chain length is going to be how long we want our handle or our strap to be. And it's going to be different for everybody. Make sure that your chain is loose enough to work into, because we are going to be doing single crochet stitches in these as well. But basically, you want to make your chain and you want to make it long enough to where you want the handle to end. This is basically going to be the outline for the rest of your handle. So this is how it's going to look. Okay? So once you have your chain done, go ahead and figure out where you want your handle to end. This is where it started. We're going to figure out where it ended. Again, I'm just eyeballing mine. And I want it to be around maybe there. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to insert my hook into the stitch that I want my handle to end, and I'm just going to do a single crochet. And from there, I'm just going to do single crochets until I get to the opposite end of my bag, and from there we're going to do the other side of our handle. It's also a good idea to count how many chains that you have so you have an even number on both sides. Or you can eyeball that as well. That one I like to keep track of the chain lengths, so one strap isn't bigger than the other. So I'm just going to go ahead and do my single crochet stitches until I get to around what looks to be an even distance. One more single crochet. There we go. Now we're fairly evened up and matching around the same area where our last handle ended. And I've basically stopped around a similar area. And now I'm going to go ahead and make the same number of chain spaces that I did the other handle. So I have the same number of chain spaces as I do on the other side. For me it was 17. And now I'm gonna just go ahead and single crochet around the same area where my last strap started. So this is where we started. So I'm gonna be single crocheting around here on this side. And then you just single crochet until you get to where you started. And once you get to there, we're just going to slip stitch into the very first stitch that we've made, chain 1, and now we're just going to do another row of single crochet stitches. So we're going to do single crochet stitches until we get to where our chain is. And now in every single chain, we are just going to do a single crochet stitch. So now we're working into the chain spaces, and we're just going to do one single crochet in every single one until I get to the opposite side. And once we get to the opposite side, I'm going to do my last single crochet in my chain space. We're back to our single crochet stitches, in which we're just going to do more single crochet stitches until we get to the beginning of the other side of our strap. And once we get to the other side of our strap, we're doing the exact same thing, where we put one single crochet in every chain space until we get back to our single crochet stitches. So we're going to do one single crochet in every chain space. I will go ahead and meet you once I'm done. Okay, I've just done the other side of my strap, and I'm going to do my last single crochet in my chain space, and then one single crochet in each single crochet stitch until we get back to the very beginning of our round. Once we get back to the beginning, we're going to slip stitch into the very first stitch and chain one. Now the next set of rounds should be very straightforward, in the sense of we don't have to do anything different. We're just going to do one single crochet in every single crochet stitch all the way around. And those single crochet stitches are going to go from your bag to your handle, all the way around to the other side of the handle, all the way around until you get to the very beginning. So for the next couple of stitches, I'm only going to do one more round. So I have one round of single crochet stitches for my strap. I'm going to do one more, so I'm going to have a total of 2. But if you want to do more and you want your straps to be thicker or your border to be thicker, you can go ahead and do that. But again, for the size of my mini bag, I'm going to stick to just one more round. But now all you have to do is you're going to do one single crochet stitch in each stitch all the way around until you get to the very end. If you are doing multiple rounds, at the very end, you're going to slip stitch into the very first stitch, chain one, and then repeat. Feel free to pause the video and I'll go ahead and meet you once I'm done. I am on my last couple of single crochet stitches. And then I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch into the very first stitch that I have, chain one, and then I'm going to snip off my yarn once I'm done with the amount of rounds that I prefer. Pull through, make sure to chain one before you snip and pull, and your bag is almost done. All that's left to do is sew in our ends, which is where our needle comes in, but if you don't have one, that's fine. You can always just use your hook. I'm going to go ahead and sew in my ends off camera. And once that's done, you have your little mesh tote bag. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you have any suggestions on ways that I can improve my teaching technique, feel free to leave those in the comments, because I do take comments into consideration, and I want my videos to be things that everybody finds helpful. Also, if you have any suggestions for future videos that you would like to see, please also leave them. I'm always looking for inspiration for my next tutorial. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I hope to see you again soon. Okay,